Now I'd like to bring to the stage our General Manager and Executive Vice President, Greg Williams, for his report. Greg?
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you for coming out today. You need to give yourself a round of applause because you broke historical records this morning. This is the largest crowd we've ever had for an annual meeting, 653. Right? Thank you for your attendance. Apparently, $15 credit is better than giving you an umbrella. It must be. Let me add my welcome to our guests from TVA, TECA, and our auditors. Thank you for coming. I want to thank our board of directors. You may not realize it, but we meet once a month, spend about 3 hours, sometimes over 3 hours in a board meeting. And they do an excellent job in representing your interest each month at those meetings, and I greatly appreciate them. Also want to say thank you to our employees. You've seen a number of them out and about today, and I can't do what I do without a great staff, and they do a wonderful job. Those are the folks that obviously keep the lights on during the storms. They're the ones that answer the phones. They're the ones that really do, they do what we need to do to keep everything going. And then finally, I want to say thank you to our members. When I say that we serve over 45,000 meters in parts of 4 different counties, I'm really thinking of the people associated with those electric meters that are attached to homes and farms and businesses throughout our service area. All of you are uppermost on our minds as we go about the work of the cooperative. The fact that you came out today means a great deal, and we greatly appreciate it. Now, in my report this year, I'm going to focus on 3 very important areas: numbers, technology, and value. Now, hopefully you received a key message sheet like this, and I hope you'll take a look at that. That's called an infographic, I think is what it's called. I learned a new term, but it's just there to give you some information about your co-op. As an engineer by profession, and what you might call that I'm a numbers guy. I love numbers. Much of our time each month of the co-op's board meeting is spent going over the numbers. And as you might imagine, there are often a lot of numbers that we go over. Now, even though it may sound tedious, our board reviews every single expense transaction from the month before, from our TVA power bill all the way down to the water bill that we pay for the building. Now, I don't consider that to be tedious, though. I consider it to be fully transparent. Numbers matter. They matter to me, they matter to my staff, and they matter to the board. The clean audit report we receive from our auditors means the numbers truly reflect the financial condition of the cooperative. I want to thank our Vice President of Administration, Dale Lawson, for the excellent work he and his staff do in overseeing our budget process and finances. Your cooperative remains in strong financial condition with adequate rates and revenue to maintain and support the electrical system. Now, sometimes the best way to understand our performance is to compare our numbers with those of other co-ops. Let me give you an example. For instance, when we are comparing size, of the 23 electric co-ops in Tennessee, we rank 8th in number of members, and we're in the top 100 in more than 900 electric co-ops across the nation. Now let me give you 4 metrics. You might call them performance indicators that kind of give you an idea of how we stack up relative to others. First of all, we rank 2nd in the state for the number of consumers per mile of line at almost 17, whereas the median across the country is less than 6. This means we have a much higher density of members than most every co-op in the U.S., and that higher density is a real advantage because it means that we're able to spread our cost over a greater number of members. But more consumers per mile of line also means that our investment to serve those members must be proportionately greater. We're number 2 in the state for investment in our electric plant per consumer. But what's interesting is we're near the bottom in the nation. Other co-ops who have miles and miles of electric line must invest more dollars to serve fewer members. Fortunately, we can realize greater efficiencies with regard to our investment in our infrastructure. Third, controllable expenses. How are we doing? Well, we're kind of in the middle of the pack among our sister co-ops in the state. Not too high, but not too low. Nationally, we rank in the bottom quartile. So we're very proud that our controllable expenses are some of the lowest in the nation. The last comparison I'll share is our system losses. That's a technical measurement that quantifies the efficiency with which we deliver electricity. The lower your system losses, obviously, the better. We stand middle of the pack in the state at 4.9%. But I'm happy to be able to tell you that our system losses are lower than 2/3 of our sister co-ops across the nation. Now, last year I shared with you how we have seen a slowdown, a major slowdown in member growth. I'm very glad to report we are seeing some improvement in this area. We ended our fiscal year, June 30th, with 44,999 members. We were one shy of 45,000. But 2 months later, July and August, we've added 133 new accounts for a total of 45,132. That's an increase of 158 since the same time last year. I am hoping that this is a sign of some better economic times and a return to some good positive growth for our co-op and for the communities we serve. Now, the more sobering news is that since 2009, the co-op has added only 272 new electric services. Now, keep in mind that we used to grow at 100 new accounts every month and over 1,000 per year. I stood here last year and told you that AEC would have to implement a rate increase in April 2013. At that time, we were not sure just how much of an increase would be required, since our last rate increase had been a full 2 years before. We thought it might have to be as much as 2.5%. Fortunately, we were able to keep that rate increase to under 2%. If you recall, it was right around 1.9%. The fact is, over the past 10 years, we have been able to keep the rate increases for your co-op, now this is the piece that we operate off of, to less than 1% per year. 10 years, less than 1% per year. Now, this is a very important number that we're really proud of. Now, unfortunately, there's more to the equation than just the portion of the rates for which we are responsible. Effective just this week, on October the 1st, TVA implemented a 1.5% rate increase to our wholesale power bill. Regrettably, there's no way around it. That has to be passed through the rates to our members. But you can count on the fact that we do our very best to represent your interest in our interactions with TVA. One of my most important responsibilities as your general manager is to serve on the Rates and Contracts Committee of the Tennessee Valley Public Power Association. At those meetings, we discuss, we debate, we negotiate rate issues with our power supplier, TVA, and those deliberations involve a lot of numbers. We try our best to hold TVA accountable for their rate actions and urge them to maintain competitive rates in our region. And you already heard from Michael, TVA realizes they're not competitive right now, and they're working to bring those rates down. And I can assure you, at those meetings, those are very spirited discussions. Now, I've shared a lot of numbers with you today, but I think it's safe to say that one of the most important numbers is the one you see on your electric bill each month, the line that says total due. When you think about what you pay for the electricity you use, here's something I hope you'll remember. Almost 80 cents of every dollar we collect goes to TVA to pay for the power you use, while your cooperative retains only about 20 cents. Needless to say, it takes a lot of focused work on the part of our employees to run and maintain our electric system on just 20%. So in summary, our numbers prove that we're operating effectively on behalf of our members. Now, for one of my favorite subjects, I'm continuously amazed of how technology is rapidly changing around us. Now, some of us have embraced it, some of us have resisted it, and some of us just tolerate it. From the cockpit of your cooperative, technology is allowing us to do more and to do it better, faster, and more efficiently than ever before. The most recent change happened just a few months ago when your directors began using an electronic board package rather than a big 2-inch thick binder full of reports. We have saved hundreds of dollars a month on printing costs, and this technology gives us a very secure way of archiving those records. By integrating older technology that monitors and controls our electric system with our new automated metering technology, we'll be expanding our demand response program in the next few months. As a result, we're anticipating significant power cost savings. This one program alone has saved more than $700,000 on our power cost since 2011, and we're hoping to grow that even more. I'm very pleased to announce that our advanced metering technology is now fully deployed. We've been working on this since 2006. The AMI system is not only providing readings for monthly billing, but it will improve our outage restoration process, our operations, and provide the technology to implement future capabilities such as prepay, and time of use options. Now, these are two things we're looking at right now. Just a few months ago, we began offering a new LED security light. This technology results in a white light, which many people prefer. If you have a sodium light, that's the orange or yellowish looking light, a lot of folks don't like that. Well, we've come out with an LED security light and it is white. And if you were over in the gym, you got to see one. We hope you'll take advantage of a special promotion we're offering. Contact our service department by the end of October, by the end of this month, to order a new security light or exchange an existing light, and we'll waive the standard $50 service fee. Now let me talk about some other technologies that we're researching right now. E-bill. We're working to provide you with a convenient and environmentally friendly option to receive your monthly bill electronically, thereby saving postage and paper. We're also looking at providing our members, if you've got one of these, a smartphone. We're trying to look at rolling out a smartphone app, which will allow you to access your account on your phone or your tablet or device and allow you to pay your bill from that mobile device. And finally, effective today, you can like us on Facebook. We have officially launched our Facebook page and hope you will meet us there. We are finally on social media for some great online conversations, among other things, obviously, to talk about how to use energy more wisely. So from social media all the way to advanced metering, we're working very strategically to incorporate technologies that enhance our member services. Finally, I want to briefly share how your co-op is bringing value to you as a member. When AEC was formed back in 1940, the value we delivered was really clear to everyone, namely those who were receiving electricity for the very first time. The power lines went up, and not long afterward, the lights came on. Many decades later, after we're all accustomed to light at the flip of a switch or power at the press of a button, it's important to understand that the value we bring extends well beyond the construction and maintenance of our electric system. The purpose of your cooperative is not only to power our homes and communities, but also to empower our members to improve the quality of their lives. Let's look at a few examples. For the first time, in almost 20 years, we're going to be asking you to tell us what you think about us. Sometime within the next few weeks, a random cross-section of the folks we serve will be asked to complete a member satisfaction survey. In fact, one of you here today may be receiving a call to answer questions about your co-op. Your responses will help us determine in which areas we're doing well and in which areas we need to improve. If you receive one of these calls, I hope you will be candid in your responses, because your feedback will help shape how we bring value to you in the future. Now, politics may or may not be your favorite subject, but the fact remains what happens at the national and state levels can impact your co-op in the way we do business. And by the way, we are open for business. AEC directors and managers engage with our state and national representatives on a regular basis to make sure that the decisions these legislators make do not adversely impact our co-op. Our efforts bring value to you by helping to protect the safe, reliable, and affordable electric power upon which we all come to depend. Now, we're all very proud of the long-standing investment also that we've made in the future through our work with and support of young people. For over 50 years, and I didn't realize it had been that long, but for over 50 years, your co-op has sponsored the essay contest, the Washington Youth Tour, and the scholarship award that goes to the contest winner. We've seen many of our student participants working here today, and we really appreciate their help. The co-op is also actively engaged in classroom education throughout our service area. The interactions we have and the positive relationships that we make with these future leaders will bring value to our co-op and to our community for years to come. If you're interested in learning more about how to manage your electric bill, your co-op should be the first place you turn. We're constantly working to provide our members with technology, tools, programs, information you need to lower your electricity cost. Here's some other ways we can deliver value to you. We can offer you a wide range of energy efficiency programs for your home, and we can make them available to you through convenient and affordable financing. If you own a business, we can help your business run more cost effectively by conducting engineering studies that'll point the way toward efficiency improvements that will result in a reduction to your electric bill. We can provide you with renewable energy options that include both technical assistance and financial incentives for solar power, wind, low-flow hydro, or biomass projects. And we can make it possible for you to support renewables through Green Power Switch. Now, one of the principles of the co-op business model includes concern for our community. There are many ways in which we're engaged in our communities that it would be impossible to list them all, but I want to mention just one more very important way the co-op brings value to those who we serve, and that's through our support of economic development. By closely working with TVA as well as state and local agencies, we are on the front lines to bring new business and jobs to our area. And in fact, we learned just this week that working with an industry in Granger County, they were able to secure a very sizable incentive through TVA to help them with an expansion. So if you recall nothing else from my remarks today, I hope you remember this. We are focused on bringing value to our members, improving the quality of their lives, and strengthening the communities we serve. Thank you again for coming out to your annual meeting and the opportunity to give you this report today. Have a great day. Thank you.